welcome back to my channel, guys. We are back with another one. You have myself, Brandy Janae, and Miss Angela from Word on the Curve. Okay,
Hello.
to give you a Love and Marriage Huntsville review. We got to put 2 episodes in one review, so we're gonna be reviewing 2 and 3.
Yes.
Right, episodes 2 and 3, and basically we really gonna jump right into Destiny's trip to Detroit, right? She putting the
Yes.
family back together. She found her wayward mom.
Ah, they said wayward. Hello, children.
And we'll check in with Ken and Trish, honey. These oh my God, honey, I feel like I lost brain cells. And I felt so bad for Dr. Francis because I know he probably sitting there trying to figure it out too.
Like, what the fuck is this? I don't get it. I really don't. And really, I tried to suffer through it a little bit. From what I understand, it seems like they want to be with each other, but he calls her a liar.
A compulsive liar, not just a liar, but a compulsive liar.
So who's telling the truth? And why?
Well, you want to know? I know that she's not telling the truth. The reason why I'm gonna say that she's not telling the truth because as soon as Ken got the opportunity to talk, she did keep over talking him, and then she brought up something that was so left field. Again, maybe this was editing. Maybe y'all did have like this was a part of the conversation, but they edited right out because I didn't understand how she got to the fact that he calls her at the gym asking if somebody in the bed. What?
Yes.
That's not the way the conversation just started. We was here to talk about something else. What do you mean? And so as Ken is kind of responding to that, she cut back in again and was like, yeah, because you said, and I have the belief that a person that does that is trying to keep you from speaking because they're lying about like they just want their narrative to be the one. And I didn't understand that because I thought y'all was there to talk about the issues that got y'all apart. Where did this whole like he don't trust you thing come up? And maybe he don't trust you because of that Martell thing. But then like it's like to bring that up, that particular scenario, like I'm at the gym and you asking who is in the bed,
Yeah.
Maybe that happened, but it's kind of like you're not even giving the full story. That's clearly, that's clearly a very, snippet. And I don't like to talk to people who do that.
Yeah.
I don't like to, well, there's not a way to resolve when a person does that because generally what happens is that this used to happen to me in conversations with my kids' dad a lot, and my mother, to be quite honest, a lot. You would be saying something and they fixate on one phrase or one sentence. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to listening to the whole thing and answering from a place of you've listened to, you know what I mean, whatever the whole spiel was, and now you've heard a word, a trigger, you know what I'm saying, or something, and now you fixated, in that.
Because they're only listening to respond. They're not listening to
Exactly, and so yes, I don't do well with people like that. I don't. And today, because I've had that experience with two people who had the closest relationships with me, I don't engage anymore. Yeah, I don't engage anymore. Because I am very solution based. I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't solution based. I can't deal with anybody who's not. If you want to sit and play in the mud, you'll do that by yourself, Trish.
I don't know. I think he wants to sit and play in it too, though. I think he likes being on TV. Because if he said he ain't spoke to her in 3 months, why are we here?
Well, yeah, that was kind of weird to me too, because I'm like, well, that sounds like a real breakup.
Yeah, so why are we here?
So yeah, I agree.
You're not married. You don't have
Hell,
children with
I
her.
don't think he had no intentions of being back with her, seeing that he is roommating with Will. And look, they the single guys. Look, and
But
also
why
take
has he got a roommate though?
well,
I'm not understanding that. Why has he got a roommate with someone? You can't
shit.
do
Now
that.
listen, rent is high. I understand
Girl.
having.
They ain't the normal people. I mean, like, okay,
Oh,
she's
listen, normal or not, rent is fucking
girl. It is, but that would be a turn on to
high.
me.
Listen, I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be in space by myself, but I had considered a roommate. Also, because yeah, it's rent is high and shit. Like,
It sounds like he moved in with Twan. He didn't, not Twan, whatever his name is.
yeah, I think it's Will. I think you
Will.
talking right.
He moved in with Will. It's not like they got in a, it don't sound like they went and got a
Oh
place
yeah,
together.
not together, right? I think right. Yeah,
No.
I'm calling it a roommate situation. I mean,
He on his couch.
right. But I mean, but then you taking advice from Martell, so I don't really know where this is going. I'm like, I don't think you talking to the right people to be trying to reconcile a relationship with Trish.
I feel like, Martell was making some sense. He need to be with a woman who's not married.
Martell always makes a little bit of sense here and there. What they say, the sun shines on the dog ass every now and then, right? Every now and then. It does not mean that you just go into full blown taking advice from this man. Like seriously,
No, I don't know. He's with Trisha, so.
I don't think so. No, I don't think they're together now.
Well, I'm just saying he was
Oh,
contemplating getting back. That was the whole thing, him and Trisha.
yeah.
I don't know, to put himself in that situation and be so like crazy about her. He just seemed weird to me too.
It felt weird to me in the beginning also. I mean, I already, I said that I'm like, something is wrong with him to walk into that type of situation, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like you were setting yourself up because now to turn around and then throw the things back in her face, like, oh, well, cause that's what he trying to talk about, I guess, Marquez, and she's like, well, I don't bring him up, and like going to the same thing. She got fixated on what he was saying without really considering, like what he is really trying to say about that. I don't talk about him. You bring him up, and it was just like, girl. But going back to the point, you wasn't supposed to be with nobody who had been separated from her husband for 5 years. That was a red flag in general that she
Yeah.
had not taken the initiative to go get her own divorce started, that you had to come in and present a reason to her. That's not good enough. That's why I feel bad about that damn Clarissa Shields. I think she is a fool. Like
With Papoose, okay, yeah.
I think she is a fool. And
Is she
Pat,
actively trying to get pregnant or some crazy mess or something?
she might be. I mean, she keeps saying that she wants to. I'm sure that. Well, here's the thing. She probably not in this moment because ain't she preparing for a fight or something,
Girl,
or
I
did
don't
it
know.
already happen? Yeah.
She got in a fight probably about 2 weekends ago, I think.
Okay, maybe
She got a
that was
fight.
the one. Because that's what I was saying is that I'm sure she has prep. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
prep around what the fights and stuff. So whenever she's talking about having this baby that she want to have, I'm sure she is going to plan out for that. But yeah, but using her as the example, sure, Papoose and Remy are separated. Sure, Remy has another interest that she's dating. So we all agree that they are separated. Like nobody is cheating on the other one. However, it's like you have to, we are living a world where we take the truth and twist it to fit, like what we
The
want it to
narrative,
be.
yeah.
And the truth is that's a married man. The end. You know what I mean? Like that's just the truth. Like it's the same about being single and in a relationship. The truth is you are single until you're married. Like there's no other way around that, and so, like for her, 35, same as what I'm saying about Ken. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You don't have no kids. You ain't never been married. Like, you don't have this baggage. Why would you accept it from somebody else? And not even just
that's all Martell was saying.
that's all. But yeah, I mean, pretty much. And again, he was right. He's right. He's right. I just think he's wrong. But I'm telling you, you take too much more advice from that man. I'm just saying and what they tell you, even the clock is right twice a day, right? Or a broken clock is right twice a day. But I'm saying, so yeah, Clarissa, same for her. It's like, I feel so bad that she has kind of put herself in this situation that doesn't feel that it's the best situation for her. And then I'm looking at Papoose like, you seem like you like riding her coattail. You know what I mean? So there's that. Right now I'm kind of like, yeah, it was all sweet and cute when you and Remy was doing the Black Club and, you waited on her to get out of jail. But now I'm putting two and two together because now you seem to be, now you came over here and now you her, henchman or whatever. And so it's like, is that what you do? Like, you going, ride off the backs of your ladies? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
and
he
so
probably was. Maybe he was ghostwriting for
well,
Remy.
if it's anything like that rap he came out with to diss 50 Cent, honey, take it back. Because I was like, I thought everybody said Papoose could rap. This sounds like some Sesame Street third grader shit that he was on. It was like, here, you know what it sounded like? It sounded like I was so mad. I just put this on. I just said everything I wanted to say and just put a track on it. Like, I didn't really, put in, produce anything. I just need to get all of this out. Cause I was thinking, I'm like, nah, this ain't that, buddy. But anyway, this ain't for clear. So same with Ken. I think that something was wrong with him for stepping into that particular situation in the first place. But I also think too, that we have to look at men, because that might be a form of low self-esteem in men that go and get situations in which a woman is dependent upon them. Because it's one thing to be supportive, and then it's another thing to be the one that feel like you had to make this woman. So I'm not saying Clarissa didn't have confidence, but I feel like she's gotten more of it with the Papoose.
Oh, girl, yes, because
okay,
you can see them damn
so I feel like Papoose is fueling that.
Well, yeah, she didn't came into her herself a little bit, because I seen I think it was from 2016 where she was taking pictures with the boxing bag, and she was naked. And I'm like, who the fuck was her stylist? She looked horrible. She did. I mean, her body looked good, but she like a fucking boy. And her hair, she looked a mess. And I'm like, who? And she just looked like one of them old slaves or something. I said, what the fuck is this?
Not all slave child.
Girl.
That's so Trish and Ken is killing our brain cells.
Let's move on along.
Yeah, okay, they're killing our brain cells, and I don't really see it for them. Okay, no. So Tisha talks with Marsau about her conversation with Destiny, in which she expressed to Destiny that she knew what box to put her in. Destiny asked about what box is that. She said, "Don't trust that hoe." Yeah. And so then she said, "I'm just playing." And so Destiny said, "Well, it's always truth to a joke," which I would agree. She don't trust you. What you can take from that is she don't trust you, you know, for sure.
And she thinks you're a hoe.
Maybe. Yeah.
She said, don't trust her. She said, don't trust that hoe.
Sometimes hoe can be used as an adjective to person. Right?
No, because it would be different if we didn't have all the dating situation she had going on.
Right.
because he had a
Right.
dating situation. When she said, "Don't trust that hoe," oh, she meant hoe for real.
So, so then Destiny tells them about going to Detroit. She found her siblings. They want to go and meet her mom. And so they agree to go along. They're gonna bring Marsau and Maurice along because they are from Pontiac. So I thought that was cool because I'm interested. I wanted to get to see a part of the Scots family,
Yeah.
right? So big ups to what's her
So was
name?
this all production, like putting this together?
Well,
Because
the
it was,
reason here's how I think things work. I don't necessarily I don't think that it's production that put it together, like that gave the idea per se or forced it to come. I think some stuff do have to come from an organic place.
well, Destiny was shocked that they wanted to go because she said she felt like she was telling Trish that she felt like Tisha kind of invited herself onto the trip.
Well, when we was watching, that's what it did seem that way to me
Because I'm
too.
like, you just went from
And
don't
she
trust this
did
home to
not,
I'm going.
and she did not. I mean, I think the issue came in where she didn't say no. She said, "Oh, okay." Now, is this considered a cast trip or something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So, oh, you meant Tisha's involvement if that was production.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like just going to Detroit
No,
in
no, no, no,
general.
no. I,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I believe she was going to Detroit, but Tisha and all them coming. Because it,
Yeah, it may have been. It may have been, or that could have been organic for her to just offer, or because she did invite herself in the sense. She's like, "Oh, did you want, like want somebody to come along?" I don't know. I think it was nice enough, but I have to agree with Marsau when we get down to their conversation. He was a little confused. That you said I don't trust this person, and then you turn around and want to go ride with her to go find her, long lost mom and siblings. And that is something that's intimate, in my
yeah,
opinion.
like Marcel said.
Yeah, it is. It is intimate to be in that space. Um, so she was confused, and Tisha is looking. So I think when it comes to Tisha, yeah, I think maybe she is like maybe there is some part of production that is trying to um make a way for them to all get there so that we can get some of the Scott.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they had not done that on their own, right? And of course, it had to be that. Well, it happened to be Destiny to bring it up.
Because I said, let me Google. I remember as a kid going to Detroit because my grandfather's sister lived in Detroit. My grandfather's brother, assumed, because I thought they said Pontiac, but it didn't seem as far. So, well, let me Google and see how far it is from Lothrop and West Grand Boulevard to Pontiac, Michigan. It still said about 29 minutes. So I'm like, 'cause I don't remember as a kid taking that long to get to their house. So I said maybe he lived close to Pontiac, but Pontiac was real, like, it was real. Well, being from Fort Wayne, I was probably like 10. I never been to a store that had bulletproof, a candy store with bulletproof windows. We didn't have that.
Okay.
So, and then they had a lot of dilapidated homes or buildings that were still up. We don't have that. So I thought it was a lot different than what I had experienced as a kid. But when we went to Pontiac, so you could tell the difference from even the parts of Detroit that I was in going over to Pontiac.
Hell, you could tell the difference just from me moving from the suburbs to the city, girl. I went to the CVS and they had the condoms locked up. I said, "Well, I be damned."
Oh, girl, yeah. I didn't see them stores. They got locked up everything. I said, damn.
Right, I gotta get a store associate to get my pack of condoms. I gotta go somewhere.
I'm like, damn, yes. I seen it for the what was it? The nail glue.
And not only that, let me just tell y'all the way my math work. And then I'm trying to think, like, who is selling condoms? Like, How you in a position where you gotta steal condoms?
Girl, kids.
Right, but that right. And let me so I watched this show called Uninspected. I haven't watched this since in a couple seasons, but it's something that come on TLC. Pretty similar to Teen Mom. Okay, so
Okay.
it's about these teenagers that end up pregnant. But then, so it's this one couple on there, teenage couple. That little boy was so funny because he said he had a phobia about switching bodily fluids while his girlfriend is sitting there pregnant. Couldn't possibly be afraid of couldn't possibly be afraid of swapping bodily fluids.
He got over it for that.
And to your point, when watching it, it's like to hear these people talk. It's like the fact that you are in this such an adult position, but your mindset, like you're still all the way.
You don't consider that bodily fluids.
Exactly. Right. You passed that, honey. Wait a minute now. And they had these little conversations like that. That's what them kids funny to me. Like, cause I'm like, boy. And again, like you said, that's what I mean. Like, if you're in a position that you gotta steal condoms so you can go have sex, like maybe you don't need to be having sex right now. You might need to be focusing on something else. But anyway. Well, tell us what you think about this trip and what do you think about Tisha inviting herself?
Well, we get a chance to meet the Scott daddy. And seems like, Marsau and his daddy kind of, are alike in ways. I like the whole thing that they're doing with the building trades. I worked construction for years. I was a union laborer. So we worked in building trades. I thought that was great that they have something for people. Because like I was telling my granddaughter this morning, you need to know how to do something. Either when you go to college, like my brother, he cut hair through college.
Yeah.
So you can have a trade that you can do that you can make you some high money.
Yeah. So, my kids don't listen to me as much anymore. Just because I think that like what I tell myself is that I've been the only voice to them for so long. They're annoyed, a lot. I don't think they don't respect me, but I just feel like they are at an age where they want to do it on their own. And again, me being the mom, like I've been in their ear their whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Learn how to make money. That's my thing.
Well, but I agree. I like both my kids that, went to school. I told them the same thing. And barbering was the first thing that I kind of went and suggested to them because you out on campus. Y'all can't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to get nowhere as often as you want, you know what I mean? Or anything like that.
Because my brother started doing it. My mom brought him some clippers when he was, I think, in 8th grade. Yep. My brother learned how to, he's self-taught. So he would charge when I was still at home, I think it was $3 a cut. And he knew how to do all that. So by the time he got to college, now he never went to school for barbering, but he was good at it. So he was cutting he went to Jackson State University. So he was cutting a lot of people's hair, making money on the side. And that's what I was telling my granddaughter, that you should know how to do something where people, because she was looking at me doing taxes today, and she was like, "Are you getting paid?" I said, "Hell fucking yeah, I will be doing this." Right. I said, so you should always find something that you know how to do that you can name your price and people will pay you.
That's right. I gotta figure something out for myself because I'm having a hard time with my business, with my permanent makeup and lash extensions. And so I'm in the process of trying to like rebrand and figure something out that's just a little bit better. And kind of what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I got to figure that out. Yeah. But okay. But you're right. Like, 100% right. It's just, same as like I was telling the kids, same that I tell them about the degree, the trade. My youngest is the one who started off saying he didn't want to go to college. And, because the other two didn't finish college. By the time I got to him, I was just like, fuck it, whatever. You don't want, you, you don't want to go fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the end, he ended up saying he did. So he started off at, Ivy Tech. But my point with him, even when he said he didn't want to go to school, it's like, look, you're gonna have to pick up something, right?
Yeah.
So you don't go to school for 4 years, fine. But like you said, get you a trade. That's gonna take you 1 year, 2 year. You know what I'm saying? Something. And so my point with them is that you're gonna have to sit down and learn something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just because you got out like it's not over with. And especially if you're trying to take yourself, like from one like lane and
To another,
reach
yeah.
into another lane, So like I tell people all the time when we talk about degrees and, like I told y'all, you listen to how people talk because it tells you a lot about their mindset. Not that they, and a lot of people are walking around with poor, broke, mindsets about stuff. Y'all know how I feel about that. School ain't for everybody. Now, school is not for everybody. I understand that. But Black people use that phrase to keep their children from going to school. And I think that is horrible. I think that is a very slave mindset, low living mindset. Like, there is nothing about elevation in that mindset. And so my point, not that, and like I tell my kids, a degree does not entitle you to a particular income. So I'm not telling you that. But what it is going to do is open some doors that the motherfuckers without one don't have access to. And that is what same with what a trade does. It gives you access to something that the rest of the people don't have access to. We all can go work at McDonald's. Everybody got the skill to go do that. Everybody can't lay the carpet.
No, or the concrete.
Or or fix
Know the math to do
or
it.
cut hair, or braid hair, or you know what I'm saying. So that's the thing. You are always going to need to have something that sets you apart. What we started talking about earlier, being individualistic in a sense, that's a part of that.
Yes,
Anyway,
because the way that Uncle Steve and Mr. Scott are setting people up to learn how to build houses. I mean, that's something you need.
And that's
because when people
very valuable.
Because you're gonna need a handyman, even if that. But even to be a skilled laborer and you're building houses, or you learning how to do electricity all through the house, or you pouring the concrete, knowing how to do the different grades and all that kind of stuff, and formulate the math to know how many yards of concrete you have to order. That's something, you have to learn. And when I got into building and trades, it ain't that hardly none of us in there. Up around these parts is mostly white.
No, for sure.
So them boys, they get in there, they know, because like I told my kids, knowing something, just like when you have to call somebody to come out here, like one of my daycare parents, he laid some concrete for me to pour in my patio. Or like when, or even have somebody just to put some floors down. If you want hard wooden floors, or if you want the tile or whatever.
Right.
Them boys know how to do that.
Right.
So I definitely, if you can figure out a way to learn something that you can actually offer for other people, because like some of these young guys don't know anything.
No,
so
that's
if you buy a house, they got to call somebody for everything.
My boys is part of that group, honestly. Like in that mindset, because I'm a female and I raised my boys, by myself. And so I'm saying that to say, nobody taught them how to change a tire. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, and my youngest, he's very when he got his car, something went down with his brakes. And so he was funny because he went and bought brakes, and he was willing to go and change his own brakes. Now, I was just going to sit back and let him, even though I was scared, like, oh my God, like, what is wrong with him? But here's the thing. So, like, he got him a TV. He mounted his TV on the wall. here's what I loved about that is that he wants to know how
Learn
to
how
do
to
it.
do it. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's a very manly type of quality, you know. So like I said, I dropped the ball in a sense of I guess not finding somebody that could do those things with him. But listen, y'all, I can like that's the thing about being a single mom. I couldn't cover all the bases. So some shit, you know, I kind of didn't get a chance to think through, you know what I mean? Like to say, hey, this would be important, you know, like for them. And so, yeah, so I have sons that will be learning that as they are adults,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
it's like in some, I know in the school programs here, we have what is an Anthus Career Center. I went there when I was in you go when you're in 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go into all these other different fields. You can go in for,
Mm-hmm.
I went in for business computers when I was in school, but actually signed up for cosmetology. And basically
Mm-hmm.
how it works is once you finish,
Yeah.
you're
Woo!
done with cosmetology.
After your
Yeah.
public school came
So they have those building and trades there too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Uncle Steve said, because he wanted to do it with the school system, but they already
Yeah.
had a program. But like I said, I think it's awesome that they're
Yeah.
sitting there and they're teaching these people. Because once somebody teach you or train you how to do something, you get your certificate in it. You can
Mm-hmm.
go out there and make your money.
Anthony is going through electrician right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
My
girl, you
youngest.
can
So
name his price.
yeah,
Girl,
he's going
yes,
through electrician right now. And I'm, you know, proud of him about that. But
yes,
so, and that's the same boy. That's my son who I was talking about, you know, when mounting this TV and shit. And that's
yeah.
what I told him. I was like, oh, good. Like now you can come down there. And I think some, like I am a do-it-yourself type of person, but also I'm girly in the sense of I'm not about to do too much, you know. And I just
Yes.
pay for somebody to do it.
Exactly, exactly.
But
It's like some of the things I had learned when I was in military though too. So
yeah.
um like we used to have to be down at the motor pool. So if you working down at the motor pool, it's like a big garage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're down there, what you're gonna learn how to do is bust a tire. So you're gonna learn how to take a tire off the rim. So
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not about to get out and change no tire if it's a man around. I am not about to do that, but I think it was great that the Scots showed us that. And the daddy had an attitude though, didn't he?
He did. He did. But maybe that's his disposition.
When he told Tisha it was family business because he was
That's
upset.
what he said. But I wonder what it's about.
Well, it seems that the way that when he was gone away to the what he said he was an uncompensated
Oh
federal
yeah, he
worker.
was in jail. Is what.
Yeah, he had a fed look. He had a fed case. I wonder what the hell he did. To have a Fed case. So he had a Fed case, and I guess he had time to think about it, but whatever he missed out on his children, Uncle Steve must have stepped in. So Uncle Steve taught them all these things, and I think he felt a way that, hey, I missed
You
all
know,
that.
you know, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the only like even with my kids, you know, we was talking. I decided to not really focus on dating because of I didn't want some of those issues to come in. Like I did first, the very most important thing is I didn't want to introduce anybody into my children's life that would walk away. You know what I mean? Like and not I think I'm still very protective over them. And what I mean by that is like, don't fuck with my kids, you know, like don't fuck with them, you know, in any way, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, so yeah, and that's probably my own type of abandonment type of issues is where that probably, you know, kind of
Mm-hmm.
came from is that it would break my heart for you to be in their life and have them loving you and then you turn around and you know what I mean? Like, and you just gone, you
Yeah.
know, like, I never would want them to go through anything like that. The flip side to that is that their dad wasn't much better, you know, like in the sense
Mm-hmm.
of kind of being present. And so that's what we kind of are dealing with Mr. or Daddy Scott or whatever, is that his presence, right? And it's so hard. Like I think I was thinking about this yesterday about us, because we were so young, you know what I mean? Like, but and that's why it's so important to have like grounded adults, you know, like, that can be there, you know, like for young people in the sense of what we're talking about. Because what I mean is that I don't know why nobody, because he didn't want to listen to me either. You know, like I knew that there's going to come a time where you're going to want something from them that you're not going to be able to get because you didn't put it in. You know what I'm saying? Like time. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to not spend time with people and then you turn around and require time from them. That's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay. You have to, when we talk about reaping what you sow, that goes for your children too. You know, like you have to pour in. And so I remember having so many arguments with him. So I'm talking hell raising arguments. Like I'm cussing him out from back to forth because I'm trying to get him to spend time with his boys. Not with me. And so because he was in this limbo where you still trying to date these other women, you looking at me like I'm trying to keep you, you know what I'm saying, tethered to me. And that wasn't it. I'm trying to get you to focus on
your
boys.
kids. Because don't get old and want them kids to be spending time with you. And take time, you know, because they're going to feel away. You know, no, you didn't spend time with me, so why I got to be over here helping you around?
Feel that way. What they're not going to feel is any dedication to picking up their phone to call you because you didn't create it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, my kids have had their own phone since they were Sean, like, cause they ended up, mama got them the like Obama phones. She could get those Obama phones or something. so I'm saying this to say, like, they literally have had access to their own phones for longer than than somebody would even agree with. You know what I mean? Anyway, so when we get back to Mr. Scott, you know, like, it's fair. I like the conversation he was having with Tisha and Kimmi because I think he does have a recognition about it, which I think that's the first thing you have to do is be able to recognize and accept that, right? Because that's the only way you can even begin to change something and make it different. It is that you got to accept how it got here, right?
Yeah.
And going back to, because that's what I said about Trish and Ken. Like y'all get lost up in what a person said, and now you can't even focus on the, you know, like on the issue, because now y'all arguing over about what somebody said. And it's I tell people who, when I find myself in that type, they manipulating. You're trying to manipulate me, you know, in a way. And again, that's why I don't engage. So going back there, I like that he is acknowledging of that, but at the same time too, you know, the bond that they've created with Uncle Steve is rightfully so. Like you shouldn't take that from, you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't feel any type of way and you shouldn't take that from them. Like I, as a mom, oh, this is going to make me cry, y'all, because this is very vulnerable for me to say this. I don't know if I've seen anybody put the time and love into my children the way that I would do. And do you know how special that is for somebody to do that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that with Uncle Steve, how special that was for him to do that, you know?
For his best friend kids.
That's right. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
because he's not even an uncle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that touches my heart because I don't know that there's anybody around that would step in place of me that way.
And you hold it down. Yes. That's awesome. You know?
Is. Yeah. Look, and like I say, and that's a big thing.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is.
And like I say, I'm so protective over my kids. Like, I need you. So going, like, even when I think about that other family, it's going back to this. You can't love my kids the way you tell me you do and hate me. You can't.
No.
That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my production.
Yeah. It's the me.
Possibly.
Yes, exactly. So the Father Scott had a good friend, a very good friend to put time in with his boys and see that they were, help make them successful in life. And look what we got here. They are successful.
Yeah. And thank God, because boys don't get that all the time.
Yeah, they don't.
They fall by the wayside. Even if your own dad might feel like you're gonna be okay because you know what I'm saying. It's that same because that's what I think it was in the case of the kid's dad. Like your dad didn't do shit, so you like, well, I'm okay, and so you turn around and I guess felt kind of similar, I guess. But like I said, I just really wish that same like how I talk about, I wish I had an adult, that was around, that was there to help guide me, and give me clarity and advice, being a young mom, trying to get it right. You know what I mean? Like I learned very early that I didn't have many people that had the same kind of like desires for me, right? So it's the same with him. It's like the last argument me and his mom got into. I called her up and I asked her if she could have a conversation with her son about being a single mom, like and not.
Yeah.
I didn't
she should be able to relate to you.
Yes. And girl, she took that opportunity to want to turn around and say, well, you know what your problem is? Because all I can remember is that sentence because I know I went clean off on her.
You did like my son did last weekend.
Yeah, I went clean off on her. And the reason why, not that you can't tell me what my problem is, but what I said to her is, if you want to tell me what my problem is, then you're going to have to pick up your phone and call me. I picked my phone up to call you.
Girl.
About this problem. And I thought, like you said, as a relation, like I thought that not for you to, didn't have nothing to say that you had to defend me, but I wanted her to be a voice to somebody about, because we always got into like I said, arguments, honey. We fought, and it would be over such stupid shit. Like me trying to get him to come take his son to pick out his suit. Like you wouldn't want to do that, but you want to come and be in the pictures for prom. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, and then like if it was like we had a child support agreement, but every now and then, I mean, when you the custodial parent, shit come up almost every day. Like, so just because you giving me this particular amount does not mean that it's gonna always cover everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So again, when it came into that, we would have, and I'm like, cause listen, I ain't no punk. Like, and I don't like stupidity. Like, I just, so I'm saying, yes, I was arguing too. You know what I mean? But I feel like for me, I was fighting for my kids is what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like,
advocating for them. Hey.
Yeah.
Come over here.
And also, in a certain way, really kind of fighting for him because I wanted him to have something different than what my kids don't even know his daddy.
Oh.
Okay, so there's that. And that man live in the same damn town, have been the whole damn time. So yeah, so there is that. Usually, like my kids don't know them at all.
Oh.
And so, like I said, going back to her, I wanted her to do that anyway. So needless to say, none of that happened. And so now we are here, And so what I realized too, like I said, that last trip we had, is that he used his proximity to me to kind of mask what he was doing with the boys. Does that make sense?
So he used his proximity to you, the dad, to mask what he was doing with the boys. So he was trying to
For
take some of
him,
you.
he feels like he's done what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, without even recognizing, like, you never even threw them boys a ball.
Yeah.
You spend more time with your neighborhood friends and other hoes than you have with your own children.
And the only time he probably would have been interested is if he was with you.
That's right. That
Mm-hmm.
and again, and I allowed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was the only way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, going back to not having like strong adults, having adults that were very self-centered and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So now we getting into Miss Destiny's trip.
Yes.
We went on down to Detroit, and now we get to meet Destiny's siblings and her mom.
Her aunties. Destiny look just like them aunties.
She do, don't she?
Yes, she do.
Um,
And the
and
grandma.
so like having adults they have clear thinking, they have empathetic, or some, I don't even know, maybe maternal instinct, because maybe these people just didn't have no maternal instinct either. Like, I don't know. Because I don't know why, I don't know on her end why she sat back and I can't say allowed, but what I know what I was around for. You know what I mean? Like, and so what I'm saying is that no, she didn't have the type of conversations that I would have with my sons if I saw them kind of performing and doing what
he's doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we get to Destiny. So let's talk about Destiny with her. Because I told you I can relate to this in a sense. I wasn't adopted, but I did grow up in other homes at different times of my life, due to my mom having an abuse, crack cocaine problem, whatever. Me and my siblings were split apart, right? My younger brother was raised with my cousins his whole life. Now he came back and forth, but we were not raised in the same house fully the whole time.
So does he consider you his sister or cousin?
He does consider me his sister, but for him, he does, instead of one sister, he has 4 sisters.
Okay, because not the same situation, but something similar. My husband cousin was I think my mother-in-law had him from the time he was 3 days old or something like that. And he was raised with my husband in his family. And then he would see his siblings all the time. But anyways, he could look at them as growing up, like as cousins, Then it became like some big thing, when, at one point, okay, thank you. It became some big deal at one point where some of them had issues with him. And I would not even mention really their situation. It's the same with my grandmother. She had basically adopted her sister's daughter. Sister was having babies by everybody or whatever. So my auntie, because my grandma couldn't have kids, or at least she thought she couldn't have any. And like so she didn't have children until she got in her late 30s. Had 9 of them. But it took for her to get my aunt from her sister, and she had all these children. But what happened with my dad and my aunt and them, they kind of looked at my aunt a little different because they didn't know that they were cousins. Until one day the mama came and got her. And my aunt was like 16, and everybody was shocked, like, what? One of those kind of situations. So one of my aunts felt like we grew up as siblings, but when you're around your real siblings, you call me your cousin. But when you around us, you call me sister. So that's the kind of dynamic they kind of.
Oh yeah, no, that's never happened. Fortunately, between us, and lucky enough to what you were saying, lucky for us, the things in that aspect that was happening, we were privy to that as the own kids. So I knew he's always known me as his sister. I always knew him as my brother. We weren't always clear about why we weren't in the
Together.
same house
Okay.
together. Yeah, like we weren't, always clear about that. And yeah, I was always his sister. Now, the part that he does, which he does it to my mom, as an adult, like he kind of plays them two against each other, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so like if he get mad at my cousin, then he might call her by her name, right? Like, because technically that would be his cousin.
Okay.
And then but kind of similar with my mom.
Did you even see that? Because Destiny, I felt like
Yep.
called her mother by her name, and I thought,
Mhm.
oh,
Yep.
I don't know how to do.
And that is something that Black folks do. Like, they know what they're doing, because there is a form of disrespect in that. I can understand having the thought process. Like, for me, when we said calling somebody daddy, like, I'm never calling anybody daddy. Well, to your point, I've never called anybody daddy. So at this point, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not even, it don't even roll off my tongue. You know what I mean? And to your point, I know that it's supposed to, if I was going to say, it would be to my daddy. You know what I mean? So no, I can't call nobody else daddy. But again, it's so foreign to my mouth that it don't even feel right. You know? And so,
That's the same way with me. I've never, well, I ain't gonna say never, but my grandmother's husband died when my mom was 10. So I didn't have a granddaddy. My dad's father died when I was like 4 or 5. I might have been 5. But he didn't live here. My grandmother, he was going to move to Fort Wayne, but he never did. So, hell, I didn't really know him. My most memory is him laying up in that casket. So I never really called nobody granddaddy, you know.
Yeah.
And then when my mom's mother remarried, I was at the wedding. So she introduced us to him as Mr. Henry. So that's what the hell I called him. Mr. Henry.
Yeah.
And so my younger cousins, I guess they called him granddaddy. I said, what?
Well, if that's how you introduce it, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know, well, he was never granddaddy. It's not that he treated us mean.
And it's the same, like I told my boys, if at this point, like at a certain point, if I had gotten married, that would be your stepdad. But my boys are adults today. So I know technically if I get married, technically that would be your stepdad, but for all intents and purposes, it's not, because you full grown adults. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. So, not to say that I still would want him to have the same type of qualities and be able to offer my boys, somebody that they can look up to in that. But I'm just saying, like, like I can pick who I want, you know what I'm saying, without worrying about what their relationship needs to be with that person, right? Like, what I told him is that you don't even have to really like the person, even though I'm saying, because it's not a requirement, like you don't have to like the person, like, because you don't need them to be that person in your life, you know what I mean? But let's go on and detail this Destiny and her mama thing. Well, first of all, I felt like this was a bit exploitative. Exploitative, if I'm saying that right, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Simply because, like I was telling you earlier, I feel like Destiny breadcrumbs are, these little droppets of her life. I'm a little bit over it. There is, I identify with what she showed us, because I have a story that's similar, not the same, but similar. I understand a lot of the feelings and emotions she was expressing. But I did think to myself, like, who's exploiting who, right? I know you want to say on this show, and I know that you probably are being told you got to give more, a personal story. But what I was concerned about, like, yeah, with the mom. Because most times when people see you on TV, they just associate that with you have to have money, not realizing like that you might not.
Mm.
I'm sure Carlos is paying the people over at Love and Marriage Huntsville, so I'm guessing she's getting something from that. But it's still like I don't know, like again, it just feels very exploitative
Mm.
to go and find your mama from whatever rock it is she been under,
She
and
said
then
she got a house. She said she ain't on the street.
that's what she said.
Yes, and you know what?
Um,
We seen the shock that Destiny had when she seen her too.
mm-hmm,
She said, "I didn't realize she was that, because she was TV make you look a little bigger,
mm-hmm,
and she looked real thin." I said,
mm-hmm,
"Oh,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so yeah,
And very disassociative. Like
yeah,
she met the daughter. So okay, so it was Destiny and her brother. Those are the only two that have that was in any
raised by the
way
mom,
raised by their mom. All the other kids were taken away at birth.
look like yeah,
And so she had kids that she's never even seen,
yeah,
which was the
trauma,
daughter. And what she told her that her father was dead, honey. And it was a very disassociative conversation. Like she
yeah,
didn't speak to her with the thread of this is the daughter I gave away. It was like you spoke to her just like a random
yeah.
person
Nice to meet you
on
is
the
what she
street.
said.
Yeah, and listen, not for nothing, you know, it's got to be a survival tactic.
It's got to, yeah, definitely, especially to hear how the aunties and everything spoke of Destiny's mom and what she was like pre-addiction. And a lot of times, like, I have a friend that had a mom that, I knew this lady as being, that. And then when I realized that she had an addiction problem, because, this
Mm-hmm.
lady had it going on, and like my mom, on top of your stuff, had nice house, nice things and everything. And when I realized as an adult that, sometimes people can be a functioning person under those situations, and when you see the rug pulled from under them, you're like, I was just shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, not my friend, mom, because when my other friends start saying it, I'm like, girl, get out of here. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
Until one time went to call their house, and the phone was off. That's just
Mm-hmm.
something that did not,
Yeah. Like
mm,
back in those times, I agree with you. It was like little things, and then like stuff that would happen. So like even as a kid, well, there was so I hated when this song came out. It was like your mama's on
on
crack,
crack,
right?
right?
Yeah. So
I remember
I lived in the neighborhood, and the kids would sing that.
that.
Like
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it just is what it is. And at the time, it was true. It was.
girl, them 90s was terrible, wasn't it?
How you listen? Like you kids running around acting like they can't take life. Look like y'all even hear that shit. Like you had no idea what we made it through. But what I will say is this: thank God we didn't have social media
Girl,
because
oh yeah,
like that. Social media is something different for these kids and what they're dealing with. Because at least, like for instance, with that, when I got home, that was over with. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
after the song died down, that was over with.
yeah,
And then you go back out and then you start over the next day or whatever. And with today, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? This shit, whatever happened, it just live on and on and
girl.
on.
I'm telling you one thing too. When that crack epidemic happened, honey, my grandma's house, because my cousins was wilding, and they was straight wilding. So they out there, girl, little cousins out there selling soap, acting like it's crack. So they used to have like a public access channel. Girl would have the camera on my grandma's house. And they out there on the porch, girl, serving. I'm like, oh. They're like, is this your grandma's house? Yeah. My grandma's so old, she don't even know what the hell going on.
Right.
But her house is on the damn TV screen, on the public access
That's a
channel.
crack house. Poor thing.
Girl. Oh my God.
Thing. But yeah, so her mom was very disassociated in that conversation, and like I say, it's gotta be a coping survival tool, because also I could not imagine, like, as a mom, I couldn't imagine giving birth to a child that I never got to see again after that.
And she did that 6 times over.
Right. Yeah.
So
also, I couldn't imagine, like even when I think about my boys, like right now today, we all, everybody is in their respective places and everything. But up until last month, when that took place, like, I think the most time that I had been without my children was like a week or two. You know what I mean? Like, so again, like, and I'm talking every single freaking day. Like, even like Mother's Day last year was the first birthday that I didn't spend with my youngest son, of course, because his birthday was on Mother's Day. And it was the first time that I just celebrated Mother's Day separate from his birthday, because because it's Mother's Day is like whatever, it's his birthday, and whatever we doing, it was always his birthday.
His birthday May what?
May 11th.
Okay, my dad's the 14th, so.
Oh, cute.
My father-in-law's birthday is May 11th, though.
Yep, May 11th. And so back, what am I bringing that up to say? I can't imagine going that type of time without seeing my kids, even as like, I think about my situation with my mom. That's that's what I mean. Like, now I understand. Sometimes it's you're a disdain in a sense, right? Because I represent the failures. Like, I became who I am in spite of the things that didn't go right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And sometimes people don't know how to handle that, and so, I've talked about this before. Me and Mom can have, like a back and forth sometimes.
So basically, the Destiny is a success story for
well,
their family.
Sure. You listen, if you went through something like that with somebody that was addicted to drugs, and you come out not addicted, you come out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you come out on the other side of that without those other like little stains attached to you, that's a success in itself.
Yes.
It just is. Now, probably you had to learn how to, like, there was a lot to learn about navigating that, but listen, what I didn't like about what Destiny did in that conversation, though, is she got upset with her mom. So it was it's kind of like this thing, like, you think that she feels entitled. It seemed to be that you feel entitled also, So it was like that's when it seemed like you turned around and called her name.
Yes, Rhonda. I said,
like, and this is over, we shutting it down, and it's like, well, I don't know why you invited because I would think that you already know that she is unpredictable.
Yes.
And so why you feel like you dangling something, like over her head about that.
Yeah. I felt also because she had mentioned that basically if her mom was going to show out.
Right.
So she know who her mother is, and because even though she's probably dealing with addiction, she's probably always kind of had the same, kind of personality a little bit.
For sure.
So she's probably always.
I know we all talk about, like, I know everybody, and I'm supposed to be on board, and I guess I am, right? Fine, addiction is a disease, okay, but I also think it's a fucking choice. It is. And that's what I mean. Like I could not imagine making a choice that would keep me from my kids that way. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't imagine going over and over and over again and remaking that same decision over and over and over again.
I feel like addiction isn't a choice at the beginning, but once you become addicted to whatever substance it is,
yeah, I mean, listen, I understand, but I'm not letting people off the hook for not. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it because I don't know if it's accountability. I don't no, you don't get to just be a mess all your life and everybody around you have to just deal with it because you're on drugs. Fuck no.
but
That's not okay. That's
but do you
not
think
okay.
it's hard for them to get off of it though?
Well, whatever.
They may not have the
My mama
willpower for
had
that.
me sitting there and said that you got to hit rock bottom, and everybody's rock bottom is different. But they do say it has to be a desire to get better, that starts with anything. So that's why I kind of go back to, I think it is a choice. You have to choose. So like and that's every single thing I tell my children this about, and this is the same advice. Nothing is going to change if you're making the same decisions.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's an oxymoron, right?
well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, you have to want to, but again, I do think that there is this layer of where people just get let off the hook about that. And the truth is, it's a very selfish thing to do.
I would definitely say that.
It's a very selfish thing. It's a very selfish habit. And it's very selfish to, like I said, you go all of this time and never really get it. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody around just like, we're supposed to lean in on addiction being a disease. No, sometimes the person chose to set up in that. Why? Because being a grown up is too fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, it's like that. It is easy to go sit somewhere strung out on fucking drugs and not have no responsibilities to nothing.
Yeah, just gave up on life. Look like.
Well, that's about what it is what it will boil down to, in my opinion. And so that's what I'm saying. You know, like now listen, I do my little 420. I drink a little alcohol. So I'm not saying that I'm just this sober, bunny. But what I am saying is I'm very cautious about what I indulge in. Why? Because I'm making a choice. Now, again, even when it comes, I remember having this conversation with my brother because he gambles a lot. And I don't gamble. So with the point about addiction being a disease and sometimes even hereditary, I'm thoughtful about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the thing about addiction is it will creep up on you, right? And it comes in other forms. So that's what I was telling him. So I would, my brother too, I would describe myself as having an addictive personality.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's something I like, I'll indulge in it. You know what I mean? Like over and over. But I'm very cautious about what that is. So I don't gamble specifically because I don't want to become a gambler and lose all my money.
Okay.
And lose all it. But again, that goes back to I'm the primary custodial person for my kids. Everything was on my back.
Yeah.
I couldn't. You know what I mean? There was no room for me to mess up.
Exactly. Like my mom called it responsible parenting.
Right.
So yeah. Because I always would say my mother, being a single parent after she divorced my dad, she made sure shit happened, so we didn't know lack. So that's just how things work. And even though I'm really a daddy's girl, but I can count on my hands how many times my daddy took us somewhere outside of him being with my mom. Now, even though my mom and dad were divorced, they still did things together.
Yeah, well, that's what I had to do with my kids there, because otherwise, yeah, agree. I think right
So
now today, and that's what I'm saying. You have these people around you that really support this, like real ghetto, like real. I don't even like down in the gutter type of behavior, but you'd have been more places with strangers than you have with your own kids.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, and look, to each his own, because like maybe that's not a clear. It's not a requirement. But I'm gonna tell you, I love my boys so much since the day I gave birth to them. It ain't shit I want to do without them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like not much. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like when I would I remember the cruise I went on. And I couldn't talk to because back in the day, we didn't have all the
The cruise was
so I couldn't talk to my boys the whole time I was there. So by the time I could, get to them, like girl, I was like, I'm never going nowhere else. Like,
I think it
so
was in 2014. It was like that. Couldn't talk to nobody.
And I got a post about this, but 2016 was the opportunity I got to take them to Florida for spring break. It was the only time we was able to, do something during that time. Because I didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? So no, we didn't. We did things right. I think the amusement park was one of because that was the easiest thing I could swing. You know what I mean? So I kind of made that our thing.
Which one y'all used to go to?
Well, we started off at Great America. So we started off with Sean, with my oldest, doing it for his birthday. And then when we moved here, it's Kings Island. Yeah. And we've been trying to get to Cedar Point for a while. So I'm playing that soon for us.
He's on Cedar Point, Kings Island, Six Flags.
And we did do Holiday World once. We never going back there again, but
yeah, those are the places that we used to go to as a kid. My parents would take us to Cedar Point, Kings Island, and that's like
for me. I like to give them some experience, like every so often when I could. But also, and that's my point. There's not much that I want to experience that I don't want my kids to be a part of and experience also.
Yeah.
So it just warmed my heart when my babies came to Greece with me. You know what I mean? As young as they are. Now the youngest one, he's like, I don't need the country. So we left him right here in this one. But no problem. We're not even gonna fight with you about it. But cause they're young, you know what I'm saying? And they came. And for me, I like that gives them something to want to experience again on their own, right? And they didn't have to wait so long for it. Like they can learn a work-life balance early.
Yes, because with my children, the first time we went on a cruise together, or we went to Bahamas, I think my son I think he might have been in 9th grade. And so we had went, and because we had our family reunion there. So we had our whole family went, but I said, so y'all can kind of learn things. You're not being impressed by some minor stuff. Y'all get a chance to learn how to do some big things, and then strive to do things when you get older.
That's right. So like I said, I took my tax money that year. My friend had a timeshare that she let me use. I paid for the timeshare and I saved the rest for, when it was time for us to go. We drove down. And I remember that so vividly because I was so proud of that. It was something I wanted to do. And I was just so excited that I had got the opportunity. And I knew even if it only happened once, it happened,
Yes, exactly.
And it's something they'll always, remember. And they had been to Disney World before the two older ones, because the grandmas had taken them. As a matter of fact, when I was giving birth to my last son, so they went that year. But again, my middle was so young, he didn't remember that he had been there before. And again, like I say, and then we turn around. I've been able to get them to Vegas. Me and my middle baby, we kind of planning us a little getaway, now. And I got another cruise that I'm about to plan for next year. But I like to say, I love that they are on board. And And the deal is, it just comes from the experiences they've had with me. You know what I mean? And like my oldest son got engaged in Paris. He's 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Who does that? That's what I'm telling them. But again, I love that they are willing. And so you just went to Aspen. That's what I'm like. Get out here, enjoy your life. Don't wait to travel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, get that passport stamp. That's what I believe. My little brother is all over. Well, he does a lot of traveling for work, but before he was just globetrotting everywhere. And I'm like, look at Jarvis. He's right there where the pyramids is. And then my brother, they're really tall. So I'm like, and he had on all the little garb that they have. I said, he looked like one of them people over there for real.
Yeah.
And then when he went to Thailand and stayed, oh God, the resort was so beautiful. And I'm like, dang, who is your travel agent? Because when he did one where they went skiing at the Alps. And then he was over in Switzerland. He just traveling. And I think it was 1 year because he usually goes around his birthday, but he went for Halloween 1 year and they stayed in Japan somewhere. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm like, go ahead. I mean, because you can buy things, but I think when you can experience life in different cultures too, it's fun. Now, right now, I wouldn't be traveling nowhere.
Well, that's so funny you say that, because as I was looking at that Puerto Rican cruise, I saw another cruise going to Egypt, and I sure thought about getting over there, but I said, no, maybe I'll stick to Puerto Rico this time.
I have to travel within the United States. I'm sorry. Until we get this fool out of office, I don't know what, because when we was looking at Instagram, you seeing people crying because they over there in Dubai, and that's the country I wouldn't even want to go to. I don't even want to go to no Arab country. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to do nothing that's against the law, touch somebody or something, and go to jail. Not when I don't. No.
That's for sure.
So I have no. I heard you can't even. I heard you can't twerk in the streets or nothing over there.
No, you can't.
No, ma'am. I don't want. No, I don't want to be over there having a good time at the wrong place and be locked up somewhere.
I agree. No. I don't blame you. Get off there.
I got to be. So Dubai is not a place I want to go. So if I'm gonna go over their way, I might as well go somewhere in Africa. That's the way I feel.
Well, that's kind of that's my goal. That's why I keep saying every time I see an Egypt destination, I'm like, okay, well, let's go, because I'm trying to get a cruise that can get me as close to Africa as I can get, on a cruise. But I definitely want to go directly to Africa. That is a goal of mine to get to before I get too old to travel. But going back to mindset, so let's close this out with Destiny and her mom. Listen, we're getting another side of Destiny. She is opening up more about what's going on or has transpired in her life. I can't say that I'm all that interested about it. And really it's maybe it's because it's not that interesting to me, because I don't know, it's kind of familiar in a sense. Maybe it's because it took us so long to get us here. But listen, I'm not what we call the masochist. That's what Angel, said, I'm not one for somebody who continues to set themselves up in a sense to be disappointed. So it's kind of I don't know how far this story is going to go, because my suggestion to Destiny would be to handle her mom with a long-handed spoon. You know what I mean? And leave it there. You hear? I think you froze.
I think so. Yeah, I was about to text you. I think the internet froze up. But yeah, I can appreciate what you just said about it being so kind of familiar to you. Destiny, I just kind of wish we got this earlier, but I think she was probably trying to, put up a front. She didn't, I don't think she was ready to acknowledge or let the world know this type of
I'm confused with
family
what
she had.
I'm confused for her to be so old at the age that she is to have that type of thought behind it. Because like we've been dealing with, I can't tell you one way or the other. Like I'm thinking about high school. I can't tell you one way or the other exactly who might have known, like that my mom had, a substance abuse issue, because it wasn't something that was a topic. No, it wasn't a topic. Um, and I'm like my best friend. So the people in close proximity to me, right, would know that. Like the people who would come home with me or come, in the neighborhood. But as far as like as a whole, I'm not really sure who was privy to that particular information or not. And I don't remember ever thinking about it. I think I've been in survival mode for a long time, like, so for me, everything was just getting to, I was just getting to the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I didn't really sit, and I think I knew very early that had nothing to do with me per se. And
Yeah.
also, not for nothing, just to be clear, I think kind of what Destiny, I, I think that is still relative to her. I didn't have like a horrible life, you know what I'm saying? With that. So I was very sheltered, very much, taken care of in so many ways as far as, I didn't always have everything that I wanted, and I may have been in places I didn't want to be at times, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't look like what some people do go through, and I guess think about when you say, like, hey, my mom may have had some, substance issue, and going back to sometimes I think that does bother people, like, that you can have that particular type of stain, you know, um, but you don't come up dirty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause there's an expectation of what that lifestyle is and look like, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know for sure, I remember telling my mom this about the other person, mother, but I said, I think that's a lot of disdain in the sense is that I didn't turn out to be what you thought I was.
The audacity of you.
Well, right, the audacity. Yeah.
Yeah, because we thought we was better than you.
Right.
One of my daycare parents kind of dealt with that in a way. She was the cousin that never got or never had much. And even when she told me, which I could not even dream of, on Christmas, she didn't even get nothing. I'm like, what? Well, anyways,
Yeah,
she
that was right.
pretty girl, seemed like she was mistreated. And so the family looked at her as, oh.
Yeah, like a throwaway.
So when this girl has the audacity to have her bachelor's in nursing, none of the other cousins got this, okay? And all these cousins, they're all mixed. Their mamas are black. But, I guess her dad probably wasn't what they thought, and her mother,
Mm-hmm.
the other cousin's mother is supposed to have been better or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she had the audacity to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Had her kid later than the others, and kind of do her thing. Whereas
Yeah,
when she graduated college, it was some salty motherfuckers. I mean,
yeah. That's crazy. That like it's crazy that type of thing exists.
mm-hmm.
In this way. Because like that's what I mean. Destiny kind of mentioned it with her mom. I think her mom does kind of look at her, and probably like like I say, she has to disassociate herself from all of this. You know what I mean? Like you have to. Cause yeah, you would keep doing drugs. You know what I mean? Like the reason why she hasn't stopped doing drugs is for me obvious. That's a lot to carry.
Yeah.
You got these kids out here, don't know them, don't seen them. Yeah, I understand why you're on drugs. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like, cause you got to do something to get your man off of, you know what I'm saying? Like
And
that.
yes, and to lose two of her children, because she was out there and you
Mm-hmm.
lost them. For real, because to me, if she did not want to have more children and want to just enjoy the life of addiction, she would have got on some kind of birth control
But see,
and not had any children.
that will require you to be a rational thinker,
Yes, but
right?
but she made like she gave them away so they wouldn't have to go through
Yeah,
that kind of life.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like that as I was watching it, I kind of was feeling those type of emotions. Like this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you kind of coddle, you know, a person who is an addiction, you know, like because again, I'm not trying to be so cold to not understand that there is a addiction, you know, part of it, but also no, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna make it like you don't have control over what you know. I mean, because you do and you don't. Like I'm saying, I understand the addiction part of it, but I also understand the choice part. And so
Yeah.
at some point, you got to get to a place where you're gonna do something different. So a part of my mom getting kind of clean came in with the birth of my children.
Okay.
Which is, and for me, with her, and see, that's why I don't understand sometimes why she beat herself up so badly. And a lot of times that's what cause, like, cause I think she projects what she feels like I think, and I don't, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. It's the
And
guilt.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, like I said, I don't know because at the end of the day, that is what it is. That happened. But I think there's a story to say as I was giving birth to my children, her first grandchildren, that was something that helped her get to her
Sobriety. Mm-hmm.
sobriety. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, like going back to what I was just saying about the choice, for me, it made me feel better because yeah, I probably would not have had my children around her very much if she was still in that type of type of
Yeah.
state. But and
Mm-hmm.
so the fact that she did think about that a lot, or for whatever her own reasons also,
Mm-hmm.
was outside of that, maybe just kind of tired of, going through it. But also just wanting to be in the right space for these boys and again, that means everything to me because yes, I want everybody to love my children the way I love them. You know what I mean? Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
want them to be everything. And I think there's beauty in that story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I don't know what Destiny was really expecting from this trip. And that goes back to why I feel like I think it felt exploitative.
I
Um,
think maybe I thought it was just to meet her siblings, and then they added on going to see the aunt. I mean the mom and the
okay. I probably got that confused. All
because
right.
she had never met them. You know, she's been around her mother. She
I
said what,
mean,
4 or 5 years.
I would think that if listen, it would seem like y'all bothering her. Like, y'all
She
bothering
said,
her.
"Hello,
I mean,
children."
no, seriously.
And I
Because
think because
and it was giving. I thought about this last week. It was giving Kenya like very mirroring Kenya's kind of situation too. And I remember thinking about that. Like I don't blame Kenya's mom in a sense for what Kenya go through. I blame the rest of that family. The fuck did y'all have that kid around somebody who was gonna straight up ignore her in her face? That's not cool.
yes, when she said
That's
that
right, but
she was
and
not
that's
going to
what I'm
acknowledge her
saying.
as a daughter.
Like that, like your mom, because and I'm not saying that it's so. What I am saying is, as a mom, if you made a very clear decision to tell somebody you didn't want to take care of that baby, then that's what you
Well,
did.
because I thought because she gave the baby or
That's right.
to the
But
other
then
the
it
boy's
seemed
mom.
like there's somebody that was going to force her,
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, and that's what I mean. Like, Kenya has so much disdain, and you take that out for your mom. And don't get me wrong, I understand your mom gave you up, and you want to know why. But it's really the other people around that
because I was
allow.
wondering. Was the mom traumatized? Did she get get hard or something?
I thought about that too. I did think about that also, because I wondered, like you said, I wondered why, like, and again, how are you able to have this close proximity and then and be able to disassociate, and then everybody around play into this too? That's crazy. And that's the black families, and that's something that, let me tell y'all, that's something we have to break. We need to burn that shit and send it back to the pits of hell from which it came, because I think that is horrible to continue to excuse, cover up, overlook, participate in bad behavior in the family.
Yeah.
Crazy. And like I said, I don't even blame the mama as much as I blame every freaking body else. Because if she told y'all, then y'all should have just let that be. So that's kind of how I look at the mama. The mama gave these, well, whether they came and took them, because it sounded like they took them, she probably tested positive for drugs every time she was going to give birth.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens, and especially during that time, because there are a lot of stories that's like that. You just don't know about them, but it's a lot of stories that woman go in there, gave birth, tested positive for drugs, and they come right on and get that baby. That baby don't come home with you. And so, and I got a person close proximity that's happened to them multiple times, right? And I don't know what to do, because I would be devastated, honey. Like, you come take my baby out anyway. But yeah, we have to stop excusing and overlooking and being afraid to call out what's wrong.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that's the biggest problem in the world today, is nobody want to call, like what I said, everybody want to twist the truth to make it fit, like what they needed to fit for themselves and their lives. And no, you need to tell yourself the truth, and you got to believe the truth, right? And then you can move on from there. We can make it be, you know what I'm saying? We can, what I call y'all, tell y'all, romanticize your life. It's not about waiting until you have it all. Like, you might have to just, spruce it up a little bit. Make it do what it do until you can do better. Yeah. Mindset, though. All of that is mindset. And so that's why I won't date nobody who don't have a passport. Yeah, because you got to be very simple-minded to be walking around in 2026 without a passport. You got to be very simple-minded to not. Well, okay, so if you don't already, even though you can't date me if you don't already have one, because I don't want to be the reason why you got one. However, that's okay to be willing to go get it. You definitely can't be a person who don't want to.
Oh, maybe some people don't want to leave the country.
Some people don't, and you're right. But for me, it's mindset in that sense. Is it like, because some
people are terribly afraid to fly.
Some people, you're right. Listen, I am too, but I'm getting on the plane. And maybe I don't know what deathly afraid means, but I'm afraid every time I go.
Girl, like you said to do Mr. T on A-Team. They had to give him a shot of something that knock him out for him to get on the plane.
I'm afraid every time I get on the plane, but I'm gonna get on that. Like, that's all I'm saying. And look, I had asked for my first trip. I had asked the doctor for some Valium, and she was gonna give me a sleeping pill, I think. But she is the one that scared me from taking the sleeping pill. Because she's like, telling me when to take it, so I could sleep through the whole flight and stuff. But then it was something she said, like, about if I wait too long, like, it might have me groggy. Like, and so with that, I just was like, no, I ain't got time to be waking up.
I know that's right. I don't need to be jet lagged. I want to be enjoying myself.
I need to be right on point.
Yes.
But it wasn't so bad. They turned them lights down, girl, and I went to sleep just right with them lights.
Me
And
too.
look, now I got my little eye mask, and that worked even better because, honey, it's like I put on blackout curtains so I can go right to sleep. So that's what I do, just try to take myself to sleep. But yeah, I just think this mindset for me, I like open people, right? You have to be open, you know what I mean? Like open to experience, open to something other than what your everyday thing is, like, I don't know, just open. And so that's what that means to me is that you would be open and not so closed minded. But you're right. Some people, those are not my people who don't want to leave the city. There's people that don't hang left the city they lived in. Okay, and those are not my type of people. I mean, we can be cool and friends and stuff, but I'm just saying, I'm moving around. Yeah, but okay. Well, let's see. What you rating this week's episode? What are you rating? I guess let's just do this week's episode.
I thought it held my attention. It really did. I tried to back it up. I watched it last night, but I was in so much pain. I fell on asleep. So I got up and watched it some more today. But really, if we're just talking about ratings and not worried about why she didn't bring it, bring it sooner, I would definitely say it deserved about a 7 or 8. I was interested, I'm like, okay, Destiny family. Some of the things you could look and see, like Paula looks like the mom, and how Destiny, because I always thought Destiny had a fat face. I'm like, she's small, but I think she's pretty, but she has a chubby girl face. And when she acknowledged where I get my chubby cheeks from, I'm like, okay, when I see the auntie, I'm like, she looks just like them people. They look just alike. I mean, I feel like Destiny is beautiful, and I would, if they had presented this to us, like on a, like Destiny in the D or something, her own little thing, I would probably watch it because I thought, we didn't get to the whole Tisha thing. I could have did without Tisha and Ken. I'm done and over with. But this Destiny thing, I thought, okay, it was pretty interesting.
Maybe we can get her over there on Ayala.
Yes, Fix My Life, definitely.
Yeah, that would be a good place to pick that up at.
Yeah, because I would like for the mother to get her life fixed, and it probably would be she probably have a hard time with it, just knowing she missed out on so much of all of her children. But just to see how, when she said, to see people that I share DNA with. And I just could not imagine. Because you can expect that out of your daddy, maybe having some kids you don't know about, but your mama and the kids and it was like the whole thing was the grandmother wanting these kids to meet. And I thought, awesome. They made it happen because you don't know, grandma old, you don't know how long she's going to be here, but she was able to see all of her.
Yeah, I thought that was very sweet.
Yes, I really enjoyed that. But, like I said, when Destiny called her Rhonda, I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was it felt like I didn't like it. That's all.
Yeah, it seemed like she was getting smart or taking a dig. Especially since she was raised a portion of her life with her. Now the other one, Paula, she had never saw her or don't. Yeah. So her calling her Rhonda, but when she said it, I was like, ooh. So Miss Rhonda wasn't having it.
And my brother calls my mom by her name sometimes. I don't think but he does that in a it's a playful manner. Like it's not like he doesn't wait until I'm talking about my younger one. He don't wait until whatever he feel like she pissed him off, and then that's the way he decides to address her, because that's very much is meant to be a disrespectful thing, so yeah, I was like, because that's what I was saying. Like, well, y'all done knocked on her door with this shit. Honestly, I think she made her choices very clear. You know what I mean?
She wasn't searching them. And then she said, she told Destiny, You ain't keep your deal. What? You know, I guess she's supposed to send her some money or something.
That's what it sounds like. And see, that's what I mean too about once, like you started talking about going on this television show. Like, I don't, now technically they won't get paid. Now Carlos, this is his show. He's able to run it the way he feels, sees fit. So if he might give these other
It's a little piece of money. Yeah.
money or something. But I'm saying in general, clearly clearly you go seek out your drug addicted mom who you ain't seen in years, and you ask her to come have this conversation and come meet these other siblings on this television show that you're doing. You think your mama ain't looking? You think that crackhead ain't looking for something? And listen, I hate to even do that. What made me do that is because I thought about Judge Mathis. And Judge Mathis used to give them women in Detroit a run for their money. Okay, he always called them crackheads. And clearly, I guess there was some truth to what it is he was saying. Because, damn, that's like having kids, letting anybody who wants to take care of them, huh?
Yeah, plus I think Judge Mathis said he grew up around the crack house or grew up in the crack house, one of the two.
Well, for sure I know he was from Detroit. I know for sure he was talking about the Detroit women. He say they crazy and the crackheads. Like everybody a crackhead in Judge Mathis bad. Like everybody. Look, you didn't pay your light bill, you smoking that crack?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so look, but that's what I did think. I said, so Judge Mathis wasn't just joking, huh? He was really giving us a little tea about the D. But yeah, I would say I'm gonna rate it about a 7. Like I said, with the Scots going and we get to see some of that. I like that. That was interesting. And yeah, I mean, again, like you said, regardless of the fact that we probably could have gotten into some of this a little bit earlier. Glad to see her have something that's got some substance attached to it, and that it's not you sleeping with all the men in the friend group, I guess. Or excuse me, let me put that back. Cause I just pulled a nail, got her, but dating, like you're not dating all the people in the friend group. You know what I mean? So fine. You got you something of some substance, and I guess we'll see how this goes. I'm with you about Trend and Kiss. Y'all know I've been there with Trend and Trend. You see, I can't even get their damn name right. Ken and Trisha. But yeah, we're gonna call them Trend. Like, get them the hell up out of here. Because I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
It's very performative. Trish is still very uncomfortable. I don't know what she's talking about from one moment to the next. I can't follow her train of thought sometimes. And so there's that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Kimmi and Maurice talking.
Go ahead.
So they had the conversation on the porch. She had to come back to him, right? And kind of re-discuss about how he makes statements, in certain ways, like talking about what did he say? He wanted her to be happy, even if it wasn't with him or something. So she was just kind of getting him to kind of understand, like, dude, I'm gonna need you to think before you speak, because you be saying fucked up shit. Basically, that's basically where she was coming with it. And I think he agreed.
Yeah.
I like this. I've always said I like Tisha and Marsau's relationship. I also do like Kimmi and Maurice's relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that I believe they, are just these, straight walking men. But what I appreciate is the way that they are able to communicate with their wives.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they may have done something, we ain't still found out. So
that's right. We still waiting.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, I like to see the dynamic of like with their dad being on there, and the dad did teach them some of the things they learned of, when they would go and with their dad to whatever he was doing, whatever he was working on, whatever little project. And how Marsau said his dad always did it with, professionalism, always. So I like that, especially when men can train young boys and so they can learn how to do some things for themselves. So you ain't gotta always call, because when you gotta call somebody on the weekend, they're gonna charge you what they're gonna charge.
That's right. That's right.
No, that's like, it always seemed like the stuff go out on the weekend or after hours. So you gotta charge, they're gonna charge you what they're gonna charge. So I like that, and then, Marsau said taking a trip down memory lane, just looking at first yard day, Maurice learned how to side and all that kind of stuff. So, I like this episode, sometimes we like messy stuff, but I liked this here.
Yeah. I mean, a little mess is good every so often, but like you said, sometimes, getting back to, like, the deal for me with Love and Marriage is this is what it was supposed to be anyway. Outside of them kind of having the comeback group and it being more about, construction and that, but it wasn't ever supposed to be who cheating on who. Like, that is not the premise of why we even went into this show.
Yeah, that was what Melody brought.
Huh?
That's what Melody brought.
Well, yes, honey. She said y'all gonna get this one way or the other, honey.
Yes, my man cheating, so is yours.
Okay.
I'm not to tell. On everybody. Yeah, so that's all I got, honey.
That's all I got too. So listen, y'all, make sure you drop down in the comments and tell us what you are rating the season so far. Also like the video, share it out, and subscribe to the channel. Okay. We are going to be back on Tuesday at 9, right, with Married to Medicine reunion. And also don't forget to go and vote for the Married to Medicine Housewives Awards. I figure we'll do a small little show about the awards, and we'll do it after the reunion wrap up.
Okay, that's fine.
Instead of before. Because I kind of want to see if we can get a couple more participants to get in and place the votes in.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that's all I got. Ain't got no more. We'll see y'all on Tuesday.
See ya.